Hi, good people. How are you out there? It's me again, Lucy Kaime. I am back because I told you we are walking this journey together. I'm still on how I finally uh, got my visa after winning my DV at 55. Because I keep repeating, because most people may think age matters. Age is a number in Kenya. It's only a number here in Kenya. That is where age is an issue. In the US, age is not an issue. What a 20-year-old can do, a 55-year-old can do. And that is why I want you to walk with me, because as I shoot this video, I am still in Kenya. I got my visa 2 weeks ago, so I'm still preparing. And there are great things waiting for me in the US. I want you to be part of this journey because I want to encourage you out there who think I'm too young to apply, I'm too old to apply. I'm in this kind of situation. In as long as you have your form for certificate, you are eligible to apply and you can win. I want to take you back and remind you what I said, that I have applied for the DV for so many times. I didn't win. It is now at the age of 55 that I have won. And I am ready to start my life afresh in the US because there is so much I can do. In Kenya, when you are 55 years old, even employers could be writing you off. In the US, they are willing to hire you because as long as you are healthy, as long as you are normal, vibrant, strong, you can do anything. And nobody will tell you you can't do this or you cannot do that. Last time on my last video, I took you through how I applied, how I won, and I shared with you about my medical experience. Today, I want us to talk about my interview. Finally, my interview at the embassy. That is what I want us to talk about. Now, for starters, my interview was at 6:30, and I had two letters that gave two different dates for my interview. The first one is the letter I got uh, during my invitation for the interview, which is called the confirmation letter. It's called the confirmation letter. The confirmation letter is where they give you the date and the time for the interview and the requirements that you are supposed to prepare for the interview. I got two letters. I got one that came on time around July, but then when I went for my medical, I got another letter. This letter is the embassy telling me that they've realized I have gone through my medical, I have passed my medical, and hey, we are reminding you that we are still waiting for you on a certain date. And on that letter, they quoted an area date, a day before the day that was quoted on my confirmation letter. So what I decided was I will go on the earlier date to just be on the safer side. If that is not the date that I'm supposed to go for my interview, they will for sure tell me instead of not going, and that is the date that is on their system. Because with the American Embassy, you don't get a second chance. And remember, I had come a long way. In my previous videos, I've talked about the anxiety, I've talked about the waiting, have talked about giving up before I got my confirmation letter. So I did not want to mess things by assuming which date is which. So both letters, I was required to be there at 6:30. On their final letter, they will also explain that they don't offer parking. So I decided I won't drive. I'll just take Uber so that it drops me and it is convenient for everyone. So on the first date, I went. And of course, at the gate, you are asked for three things. You are asked for your passport, your DS-260 if you are a DV winner, or DS-160 if you are going there for other reasons, and you are also asked for your confirmation letter. So I presented my confirmation letter that was dating that specific day. And so I was allowed through the gate. Remember, these documents are required at the first gate, at the road, at the first gate. And so I went through, and the next check is that check where they screen you to see if you're having something that is not supposed to enter. And I went through, and so you walk now through to the major screening that looks like an X-ray, and this is where you are meant to switch off your phone, remove your shoes, remove any jewelry, remove any watch, remove everything, put them on a tray, and they are screened the way they screen you at the airport. And after screening, and they also swap to see if there are any drugs on your items. And then you go through that barrier. Once you go through that barrier, and remember, this is on the first day because my letter, I had two letters. Now you proceed to the main entrance to the embassy, and there you also now give out the same document, and especially the confirmation letter that your date for interview is today. After you give those documents, you sit at a waiting bay that is written if it is the DV people, if it is people going for visiting. So you sit where you are allocated. And it is usually, I want to remind you, very cold. It's a chilly morning. So you'd rather, if your appointment is that early, please dress warmly because you freeze. You sit out there and you wait. You wait and you are given a number. So you wait for your number to be called. So this time, my number was not called, but I could hear other people being called. But an officer came and approached me, and he told me, "Hey, Lucy, we are very sorry. The error is on our side. You are not supposed to come to your interview today. Our system, according to our system, you are scheduled for tomorrow." And I asked him, "Now that I'm already here and I have gone through the screening, can't you just give me the interview?" He told me it cannot be picked by the system, and you cannot be interviewed if your name is not in the system. So that day, I went back home, and I was with my son. He had come to take me to the interview. So my case was simple that day, and I left. And I'll tell you something that happens outside now the main gate. When you are walking out, there are brokers who stand there, and they will ridicule you. They will make comments because they think you have been denied. But while they are there, they are waiting for people who may want taxi, and they are waiting for people who had missed some documents and might be looking for a cyber. And so when you are walking out, they will tell you, "You want taxi? You need a cyber." Of course, if you don't talk to them, they will not be very kind. They will throw some very nasty words. So me, I left and went back home. And I had to wake up very early the following day, take the same trip, go through the same screening, go through the same inspection, and get back to my chilly waiting bay outside the now main entrance where the interview is going to be carried out. And I still got my number on this second day. So I'm waiting there, people are getting called, and people are getting denied, because when you are denied, you come out in a paper that is not green. That is why it's called green card, or so I thought. Because when you get green card, you come out holding a paper that is green. And also you can read on people's faces. And so I waited, and my number was eventually called. This time I'm so cold. And I went inside. And I want to say, me, I got 2 interviews. When I went inside, I was guided by a guard to a specific desk. On that desk, they want to see all the documents that were highlighted on the confirmation letter. Remember, when you receive the confirmation letter, it takes you to a link. On that link, you will find all the requirements. And there is one thing that they had not mentioned on the requirement list. It is called affidavit of support. Good people, if you happen to win green card, start sourcing for affidavit of support. What is affidavit of support, and how did I get to know about affidavit of support? When I won green card, and now I was expecting to be called around January because my case number was good. It was around 25,000, which is a very good and low case number. I think on my earlier videos I've spoken about case number, because once you win green card and you get that letter that says, congratulations, you have randomly been selected, that is not enough. After you now go to the link and you receive the first NL, the first notification letter, they will give you a case number. And that case number can be low or it can be high. The higher the case number is, the lesser your chances. So being told congratulations, you've been selected is one thing. Going through the process and actually being given, even being called for the interview, leave alone going far, you may not even be called for the interview because they follow the case number from number one. They don't skip unless you never responded, and you never responded to their first notification letter. So what happened, guys? I had a very good case number. I was expecting to be called in January. So January comes, I've not been called. February comes, I've not been called. March, April, May, June, and I was at the verge of giving up. Why? Because DV 2023 was closing on the 30th of September. We are now in July. We only have August to receive any confirmation letter, because they don't issue letters. Confirmation letter is letters that invite you for the interview. They don't issue any in September. That is the final month. And so I'm in July. I only have August. If August ends, I am done. I'm not going. So this is the period where I had gone through a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety was piling up, and my case was good. So at some point, I could even think it had been skipped. So as I was saying, I went to the embassy after finally having my confirmation. On the confirmation, as I was saying, they give you a list of requirements. Like, you have to book for the medical, attend the medical, your Kenya national certificate, passport size photo, and so many other things. There's something I want to say that they don't say under the list of requirements. Is the affidavit of support. What is the affidavit of support? Affidavit of support is an affidavit signed by the host, the person who will receive you and host you. And it's like an oath that person is taking, that they will receive you. You will be their responsibility. You will be in their hands. And they're the ones who will receive you. Now, on the affidavit of support, your host is supposed to be legit. Legit in what way? This person must be a US citizen. This person must be at a certain employment. This person must be having a house, or where this person resides must be big enough to host them and yourself. Their house must have room for you. They must be taxpayers. And remember, in all these things, they must give proof. So, affidavit of support is more challenging than the DS 260. Remember, you are the one who is filling the DS 260. The affidavit of support is someone else. That is why you need to keep your friends in the US very close. If they come to Kenya, give them gifts, receive them, host them, throw them parties. because they'll come in handy if you apply for the DV. So they had not mentioned about the affidavit of support. But me, I'm a keen listener. I'm addicted to Verified Soul. He's a YouTuber. He's super good. His YouTube, one, are very verified. He does his research. So all the things that we had not been taught, I had learned from him, the Verified Soul. And it is through his YouTube that I learned about the affidavit of support. And this is what he said. Even if they have not asked for it, just have it, just in case they ask for it. Because it's a do or die document. So me, I had prepared my affidavit of support, of course, from my host. She was willing, she signed it, God bless her. And so when I passed the medical, they sent me, remember my medical and my interview, the gap was only 1 week. So when I went through my medical and I passed my medical, because it's not everyone who passes the medical. If you fail the medical, if you are tested for certain diseases and you have them, and that is why during the medical, the DV winners are usually put aside and they are usually given counseling. You are prepared that if you are found with these conditions, your DV pursuit ends here. But when you go through the medical and you pass, even the embassy sends you another reminder telling you, we are waiting for you on this date. And it was on that letter that they had quoted a different date for me. So once you go through, once you are filling in the medical, the other thing they don't tell you is that you must take your Kenya National certificate to the Kenya National offices for authentication. What they will tell you is you bring your original and attach a copy. That is all. But you need to go to Kenya National, and it is Kenya National who will actually had delivered it through DHL. Much as you will still carry your original and attach your copy, you must go to Kenya National before your interview. So what I was saying, my medical was this week, and my interview was the following week. And that is when, between here, is when they sent me a letter telling me, we are expecting you on this date. And it was on that letter that they ever mentioned the affidavit of support. Tell me how I could have filled affidavit of support within a week. It is next to impossible. So, thanks to Verified Soul, because I had filled my affidavit of support and it was ready. Actually, when I was called for my first interview, because like I have told you, I was interviewed twice. They asked for those documents on the first counter, and they checked if I have arranged them very well. Because guys, what happens? They even tell you how to arrange which one is to be on top, followed by which one, followed by which one, and they even mentioned the affidavit of support. And among all those documents, the most important was the affidavit of support, besides the passport, because they had to verify, where are you going, who will receive you, are they legit, have they ever been involved in any illegal activity. I gave my documents, and on that counter, I was asked a few questions. I was asked, are you married? I said no. You have 3 children? Yes. What are their birthdays? And I told that lady. Me, to just get back a little, this was not the first time I ever applied for a visa. I had applied for a visa in 2018. I wanted to attend a wedding. And so this lady did not ask me, I can see you had applied for a visa and you were denied in 2018. No, this is what she asked me. Oh, I see you have never applied for a visa. Can you imagine? That is setting me up. Because the quickest thing I could have said or thought was, wow, She doesn't even know that I have ever applied for a visa and denied. Because listen to that question. I can, well, seems you have never applied for a visa before. So I was very quick to tell her, no, I've ever applied and I was actually denied. And for the first time, she looked at me and she looked at my affidavit of support. Uh, I was in constant communication with Verified Soul. So he took me through step by step and he told me, when you receive your affidavit of support from your host, go to this page. He was very specific. Sign and indicate the date. But I didn't remember. So when it came, I didn't sign, I did not indicate the date. I was just super happy and I just took it the way it was with the attachments that my host had put. So this lady actually told me, you've not signed here, you've not put the date. So go ahead and sign. At least I was happy. That was not a downfall for me and indicate today's date. Just like a Verified Soul had advised me. Because at one point, because of anxiety, I started communicating with Verified Soul. His YouTube channels were not now enough. The anxiety had gone so high, I needed now to start talking to him. And so he was guiding me every step. He was encouraging me. He was telling me, your case is still valid. Your case is still good. Just hold it there. Relax. But I could not relax. So I signed and she took my documents and I was told to go out. So I went out back into the cold. That day I had carried a show to just wrap myself because the previous day I was freezing. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And my number was called again. Like I said, nobody calls you. It is usually speakable phones somewhere in the walls. And your number is called and you are told, this number, come to counter 8. And so I went to counter 8. And I found this gentleman. I believe he was an American. And that time he was having my documents on top of the counter on his side, but I could see it is not the photocopies I made. These are other photocopies that are as good as original. He gave me back my original and not all of them. And then he asked me questions. And he asked me, are you Lucy? I said, I am Lucy. So Lucy, are you married? I said, no, I'm single. But I can see you are a mother of 3. Told him, yes, I'm a mother of 3. And he asked me, are they all from the same father? I told him, yes. He looked at me and then he asked me another question. He asked me, where will you stay when you go to the US? I had claimed the address. So I told him. But then, and listen to this, he twisted that same question about me having been denied a visa. And he never asked me, have you ever denied the visa? He was not that direct. Or, have you ever applied for a visa before? He was not that direct. Again, sorry about that. But Verified Soul had also told me, having been denied a visa before is something that they don't miss. They scrutinize to see where you are denied, to see if there was any irregularity or illegality. That is why he had told me they will be very keen on this one. However, he had told me, be very honest. They know it when you are honest. And so, this is what he said, which was not a question. He said, wow, so you have never applied for a visa before? I told, no, I have ever applied, but I was denied. And that is when he actually looked at me. He was standing on one side, filling in as we talk. So he's not really looking at me. He's filling in details and asking me. That is when he turned on this side and picked a green paper and gave it to me. And he told me, Lucy, your visa has been approved. I felt so good. You don't know how much it had taken, how much prayers, how much waiting, how much anxiety, how much encouragement I had received to just hear those words. So he looked at me and he was also like this excited with me. And I looked at him, I did like this and I told him, thank you, sir. picked the paper and hula! The rest is in the future. So as I shoot this video, I'm in my house. Like I said, I'm 55. So I'm trying to do 55 years old. I'm trying to do a new era. I'm trying to do a new life. I am now in the middle of packing and selling off the items that I can sell from my house and moving others to yet another house that I have somewhere else. And I'm also now trying to, to start a new life, a new era, new beginning, and all of that. And so that is why I have opened this YouTube channel to encourage you there that America is good. It's a new beginning. I am not there yet, but I know when the employer can ask me to retire because I am 55 here in Kenya, in America, they will ask me, even come back to school and pursue that degree because there are jobs for you, even at 60 and even at 80. Because age in America is not a number, age is just a number here in Kenya. So I am doing this video also to talk to you about those things that they don't tell you, to walk this journey with me, and also to involve you so you can also help me and we help each other, we support each other, and we see how life unfolds in the US so that when you are coming, you will have seen it with me, how you get these jobs, how you start life, how you flow with life, and then we will just be updating. So you see for yourself, you walk this journey with me yourself, and it's no longer stories, it is something that we participate, all of us. So go down there, subscribe to my channel so that you can be watching every time I upload. Let us see how it is at 55. I am feeling super excited. I've never been this happy at any other time in my life. So subscribe, uh, hit the notification button, share, like, and always watch my videos and work with me. So what next? What is next is that I am now packing. I want you to travel with me to the airport. I'm trying to book the flights. I'll take you through that. I'll show you which one is the most convenient, not necessarily the most expensive. I will show you how it is to book a flight through flight booking companies or through direct yourself, the difference even in charges, how easy it is. I will, because that is what I am learning right now, going to the airport. I will also reveal to you when I will be traveling so that you travel with me to the airport. Landing, I have been told that the winter is just starting, so I guess I will arrive there when the winter is not really at its peak, but I will find winter. I will go through winter, which most probably ends in December, entering into summer. What will have happened, what I will be doing, how I will be earning money, and all of that. But I want to encourage you. If you are 40 and above, apply. If you are 40 and below, apply. If you are 18, between 18 and 30, apply. There are opportunities that you cannot find here at home. And the beauty is, you are still a Kenyan. There's no harm in being a dual citizen. You can still invest in Kenya, work in the US, or work in, when you cannot work in Kenya and invest in US if you are not a citizen. But when you are a citizen, you are free to enjoy life either or. That is the beauty. So kindly subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button for new upcoming videos. Kindly share to your friends and your contacts and family. and like. I will be very humbled. I will really appreciate, and I will be happy to do this to encourage you and to walk with me. Thank you very much. God bless you. Check.